So you live in Washington, you're thinking of making the move to Florida, and you want to find out what exactly is the cost of living in Florida. In today's video, we are going to be going over the difference between the cost of living between Washington State and Florida. If you want to find out more, make sure you stay tuned.
What's up, everybody? It's Jimdin!
With the For Sale team right here in Daytona Beach, Florida. If you're new to the channel and you want to know everything about working, sleeping, playing, eating, buying, and or selling anywhere here in the Daytona Beach area, make sure you subscribe and hit that little bell so you're notified every time we release a new video. We have people reaching out literally every single day, and we love it. Whether it's buying, selling, moving, or relocating, anywhere here, make sure you reach out, shoot me a call, text, email, message in a bottle, or schedule a Zoom in the link down below. However you need to reach us, we've got your back when you're moving to Daytona Beach, Florida. Let's get into it. So essentially how this video works is we have a national average, which is our baseline of 100. Now if a category goes above this mark, it's more expensive. If it falls below this threshold, it's cheaper. So the categories that we're going to be going over today are food and groceries, health, utilities, transportation, and even a miscellaneous category. That includes things such as entertainment, repairs, and even restaurants. And you bet your ass we're going over housing as well, as probably the reason why you clicked on this video, right? But without further ado, let's get into it. So starting things off, we're going to be going over our overall cost. It's essentially going to map out how things are going to look when you compare Seattle, Washington to Daytona Beach. And as we go through the categories, we're going to find out just exactly what drives what numbers in either direction. So essentially, by going over the overall index, what that's going to do is that's going to lay out how the rest of the categories are going to go. And as we go through each of the categories, we're going to find out exactly what numbers are driving which way in which direction. Starting things off with our overall numbers, Seattle, Washington is coming in at 167.8 out of 100, which is well above the national average. Daytona Beach, Florida is coming in at an 86.7 out of 100. Literally, we're talking a difference of 48.3%. And getting into our categories, we have food and groceries. Now, food and groceries is going to include literally anything and everything from the grocery store. Now, food and groceries is going to include all of your produce, meats, other grocery items. But keep in mind, this does not include restaurants. We have Seattle, Washington coming in at 108.7. Daytona Beach comes in at a 97.9 out of 100. Between these two, we have a difference of 9.9%. All right, so our next category on this list is going to be comparing the costs of health. Now, what I mean by that is we're going to be taking the average daily rate of an emergency room hospital room, right? We're going to be taking the average costs of a doctor's checkup and also a dental checkup as well. So in Seattle, Washington is coming in at an 88.2, which is below the national average. Daytona Beach, believe it or not, is actually above the national average at 102.7. When it comes to health, Daytona Beach is actually 16% more than Seattle, Washington, which is a huge surprise. So if you're thinking of making the move and health costs are a pretty big factor to you, then you might want to reconsider. Moving right along on our list, we have our sexiest topic, which is utilities. Now in Seattle, Washington, utilities is coming in at a 68.8 out of 100. Daytona Beach comes in at a 97.8 out of 100. It's absolutely shocking with Daytona Beach being 41% more than Seattle in another category. Now with utilities, what that includes, you've got your general electric, gas, fossil fuels, and of course we can't forget heating and cooling. Moving right on, we have our next category, which is transportation. Now, transportation is an interesting category. This number is comprised of the average cost of gasoline, car insurance, the average cost of a car, and maintenance expenses, such as getting your oil changed, or replacing an air filter. And let's not forget mass transit fare, such as public bus systems, subways, ferry boats, things like that. So Seattle, Washington is coming in at 137.5 out of 100, which is above the national average fairly significantly. Daytona Beach is coming in at an 88 out of 100, which comes in below the national average. Looks like you're saving some money when it comes to getting from point A to point B. Next up, we have our miscellaneous category. Now, in our miscellaneous category, what this includes is the cost of clothing, restaurants, entertainment, and other repairs and services, such as having a pool cleaner, landscapers, or even hiring a plumber. Seattle, Washington is coming in at 120.1 out of 100, which is above our national average. And Daytona Beach is coming in just barely under the national average at a 98.7 out of 100, with Daytona Beach being 17.9% less than Seattle, Washington in this. So having a night out on the town might be a little cheaper if you're thinking of making the move out here to Florida. Keep in mind, the nightlife here in Florida is very vast, it's very expansive, and it is very, very different depending on where you go. Daytona Beach is completely different from Tampa, and Tampa is completely different from Orlando. And don't even get me started on how different things are down in Miami and Fort Lauderdale. And then the Keys, they do their own thing. It's a completely different and unique experience, but all of them are in the exact same state, which is the great state of Florida. And lastly, the category that you have been waiting for, we have housing. All right, so I understand why you're watching this video, and I understand why you're considering making the move to Florida. Yikes. So in Seattle, Washington, they're coming in at 309 out of 100. We're literally talking over 3 times the national average. Daytona Beach is coming in at a 64.1 out of 100, which is below our national average, and well below Seattle, Washington. Percentage-wise, Daytona Beach is literally 79.3% less than Seattle, Washington when it comes to housing. Now, what these numbers mean exactly, let me put it into a dollar amount. The median home cost for a home in Seattle, Washington is $851,000. In Daytona Beach, the median home cost is $194,000. Literally a difference of $656,000. Ow, that's pretty significant. From someone that has moved from another state that has had very quickly increasing costs. I moved here from Arizona not too long ago, literally less than a year ago. I was exactly in your shoes, just not quite the same state. I was moving from Arizona to Florida. You're moving from Washington to Florida, right? Or wherever you're from. And let me tell you, your dollar goes so much further here in Florida when you compare it to any of these other states. New York, New Jersey, Washington, California, Arizona. They've all got pretty high costs of living, and they weren't necessarily always... Arizona wasn't necessarily a place that was known for having a high cost of living until recently, with the mass exodus from California into Arizona. So there you have it. That is the cost of living compared between Seattle, Washington and Daytona Beach, Florida. If you're thinking of making the move, make sure you reach out. Shoot me a call, text, email, message in a bottle, or schedule a Zoom in the link down below. If Daytona Beach isn't quite your area and you're thinking of making the move to a surrounding area, make sure you check out our playlist down below as well. We have tons of videos on tons of other areas here in Florida, and we might have a video on the perfect area for you, so make sure you check that out. However you need to reach us, we've got your back when you're moving to Daytona Beach, Florida, or anywhere here in Florida. Thanks for watching. Hey, if you want to check out our other videos, check them out here and here. Go! Go!